Greetings friends, and welcome back to my game room. Hey, I'd like to tell you about a game that is one of my own design. It's probably 20 or more years ago that I first came up with this little two-player strategy game. And it's clever enough, I think it's unique enough that it bears publication. So Antigrid is now in our catalog. It is a peg game. It didn't start out as a peg game, it started out as a board game, and I put my earlier design on the Game Crafter website. It's still there if somebody wants to buy a board game version, but I really like the peg format for this game. The idea that you've got pegs on a board makes it a little bit more portable so that you can share it if you're playing in a vehicle or you're playing on a picnic table or something like that. A little bit more convenient than a board. And rather than ramble on, I think I'll just go ahead and show you the rules to the game and you can see how it's played. The anti-grid board is made up of two intertwined grids, one black and one red. The game begins with one's colored pegs aligned to the outermost row of holes on their grid. The red pegs must always remain on the red grid and the black on the black. They can be positioned on the intersections of the two colors, but never completely moved off their own color grid. There may be times when a peg is found in the wrong place, having been moved there by mistake. When this happens, the offending peg is immediately removed from the game, regardless of whose turn it is when the discovery is made. A peg moves along these grids in straight lines only, one or more spaces, up to or until it reaches the edge of the grid or another peg in its path. A move is also stopped if the peg encounters what's called a blockade. Two pegs in positions, like the two red pegs in this example, form a blockade across the black grid. So if a peg is moved along that path, it must come to a stop between the two red pegs. End of turn. On a subsequent turn, that black peg may be moved on along the path in either direction. The first player to go should be randomly determined. Then the players will take turns making moves. The objective is to eliminate all the opposing pieces. This is accomplished by custodial capture, also called a flanking capture. Here's an example. In this arrangement of pieces, it's the red player's turn. The target is this black peg. When the player moves another red peg into place, flanking the black peg on two sides, the black is then captured and removed from the board. A peg may be moved into such a position, into a blockade formation, without being captured. There are no suicide moves in Antigrid. It is possible to capture two pegs in one move, like so. It is also possible to block the game entirely, trapping a player's peg such that there is no way to move. A stalemate such as this is a victory for the last player to move, but not nearly as glorious as forcing an opponent to yield. So that's Antigrid. It's available from our catalog today if you go to NewVentureGames.com or to Red Hen. It's also available on Amazon and Etsy and several other retail outlets if you look around. I'll put some links in the show notes here so that you can locate a copy. Meanwhile, whether you play Antigrid or you play some other game, I want to remind you to be sure to play every day.